Hi everybody, it's your pal Drew. I hadn't actually planned this episode, but I am so pissed off. I ordered this through eBay. Really good, person I've dealt with before, really professional. But it's the actual book that bothers me. This is a thin book of Wally Wood, but that's not why I'm complaining. It's poorly produced, and Wally Wood died a year prior to this of leukemia. But it's odd because this book doesn't commit. It has like these little sword and sorcery stories that were published in Marvel, and also a couple Doctor Dooms, but doesn't have any Daredevil or whatever. But it starts off. This came out in 1982, and look at that. I mean, look at that dead air. That's pitiful, and the colors are so close. They're just very slightly off. Put an index in there or something, or put some kind of dramatic flair or something. You know, I'm not usually big into showing off comics that way, but 1982, Thumbtack Books. Well, there's a lot of these stories that Wally Wood did around 1970 when the Comics Code lifted a little bit, and you could do like Tower of Shadows, and you could do like horror, quote unquote, books. But Marvel horror books were always in the Marvel style, so they were more like superhero, spooky comics, whereas DC really put both feet in with, House of Mystery and such. So, these are nice. I mean, I like seeing these. I don't know if it's true colors of the original, but that was never a consideration at the time. And really, really neat stuff. And I do like seeing that. That's really fun. Wally Wood had stripped on his images. Like a lot of them, he uses pretty much the same size for most major characters within the panel borders. I like that. That's creepy. Okay, let's get on to the real shitty stuff. Okay, I like this. Doctor Doom, baby. Oh my god. I remember I found this in the wild because I first started reading comics in the mid-70s, and you had fanzines, which I wasn't aware of at the time, and once in a while you come across something like, oh my god, this guy Wally Wood is the best. And then years later I discovered that he had done Doctor Doom years before I saw his first work. I ain't saying that right. So far so good. I mean, I like it. It's magazine size. It's, lets the art show off well. But here we go. I know you're saying, but what, Drew? Hit me with it. Okay. Now this ends. Happen to get this. It's a Marie Severin cover, by the way. Okay. Same thing here. Really cool. Astonishing Tales. Okay, so we have issue 1 there. That's not there, but that's okay because the stories are connected. Okay. You ain't heard me bitch yet. I'm gonna bitch. Bitch. Okay. Astonishing Tales 2. John 7 cover, pretty sweet. I had tape ripped that off. I was so upset with myself. Don't you hate that? Thankfully it wasn't like a, real expensive one. Well, okay, we go into the next story, and this gorgeous splash page is not used. It's not used. Oh, damn, I keep hitting that. So, and it goes right to here, where, there's chapters of Doctor Doom. And I'm like, that's an incredible spread. And when you think that, maybe they're just trying to put it all together as one story, that's a trick that Marvel Treasury Edition did the last few years. They would not reprint the first page and just let the story move along. And it actually worked, but it was a cheat also. And okay, here we go. Let's see now. Let's see. Okay. The printing's real nice. The paper's nice. So I love that character. Man, Wally Wood, he did that on a lot of these kind of helmets and stuff like that. It's so great. He did it a lot in the 50s for EC Comics, and I think he might have gotten it from one of those old science fiction novel what do they call those things? You know, anthologies. Yes. So Doctor Doom's death. No conflagration. Well, conflagration. Bleh. I got peanut butter removed from my mouth. But, see, I'm a mess. I'm so mad. I'm a mess. Let's get back to your house. So, now this is absurd because, I mean, this is a great page. Notice Larry Lieber's been writing a couple issues, and I love that. He's so underused. I think he was the complete opposite of Stan, his brother, where he really wanted to, you know, not be involved with, he liked to lay low. I mean, he always worked. He worked on the Spider-Man newspaper strip, but that's probably the most public thing he's done. And Spider-Man came out towards the end of the adventure strip comics when the comic strips just became stuff for moms and dads to read and talk over the water cooler. So I love that. The cape there and that flight jet, it goes back to his first appearance in Fantastic Four, which is really great. I'm trying to do one thing at a time. I do one thing at both times. Oh, I see, that's why, because I stick. So, we get close to the end of this. And... Okay. What about the Red Skull? And this, I totally understand why it ends, because the next two-parter is started by Wally Wood and then it's finished by George Tuska, so, and that's not representative of Wally Wood stuff. And but it I think it's going to be reprinted in the next, or that Doctor Doom, the second epic collection I've seen on Amazon, which won't come out for a year. So this is from the page from the next issue, and you know, he's like, I'm out of here. But it takes a whole lot out of that issue, and in fact, even without the Red Skull, there's still a lot missing, and you'll see why. Okay, and you know, this would have been a nice way to end it. That would have been a great ending there. And you know, who's covered here? That's fine, but the Red Skull's there, and instead they took a face from an upcoming panel. This is the Red Skull in his exiles, ready to fight Wally Wood again, or Doctor Doom. So there's the face that gets stuck at the end. And the way these 9-panel grids go, 6-panel grids go, I saw a lot of this when Marvel was reprinting comics in the 70s, where they would take out whole pages, but not always a splash page. You might take out like a row of panels and scoot the next one's up, and then like manage to cheat a page that way. So I could easily see, you know, this book doing the same if they don't want to get into the Red Skull story, because Wally doesn't finish it. So he's in where is he? He's at the Riviera. Everybody's enjoying themselves. He's going around in his armor and cloak, and you know, all ticked off. See, there's so much more great stuff to see. Such audacity boards on madness. And yeah, baby, we're gonna go get Doom. And he said, we deeply regret this intrusion, but we must ask you not to gamble with this table. Back. You see, with your many electronic devices, you could easily, I mean, not that you would, that is. What? You dare to impugn my honesty, I, the Lord of Latveria, the mightiest of monarchs? Dolts, such insolence will not go unpunished. Oh, I'll teach you to affront the Master of Menace. Oh, you just said you're the Master of Menace, so why wouldn't they be suspicious? This is for your childish games. He's creating vortex. My car is my money. I'm ruined. Bah, I've had my fill of this international playground. Such commonplace pursuits can hold no interest for Dr. Doom. Well, he's leaving, as only he can. On ye old jetpack. And then here is continuous for Red Skull. I'm covering all the you-know-whats, the symbols, because you know, YouTube is just so weird. You know, it's so random. Love that. So it kind of ticks me off in a very big way. Because of how amateurish the Doctor Doom material was handled. I mean, it had to be just thrown together by like an intern or something, or even if the intern was the one who published the damn thing. Okay, and then we're going to reach behind me is something that really disappointed me was Legends of the Dark Knight, Alan Davis. This is when I started buying Batman again. I really hadn't bought Batman in years, I think. I mean, since maybe the Marshall Rogers and Michael Gold, years and stuff like that, and also the the Untold Tales of the Batman with Jim Aparo and John Byrne. So this came out in 2012. That other book was 1982. What sucks about this is the printing. Look at that middle panel, how dreadful it is. I've waited forever to see this era of Detective Comics reprinted, and it's done poorly. This is when I started. Alan Davis really hooked me, and he did about a little more than half a year, and it's just so great. What a great era. Okay, like over here, some of the lines on that guy's face, and more importantly, Robin again. This stuff is really coming off. It's just not. It could be printed slightly bolder. I'm not saying to get real heavy, do like a Gene Day type thing, who I always admired, R.I.P. But there's some pages here that are printed darker than others, so there's a real inconsistency. This I only say because I love that face. This is Jason Todd Robin. He's like, Schnook, what am I gonna do? Like that turns out really well. Everything's coming out. Like all the, even way back here, it's breaking through nicely. Such a great story too. And now you're going to see, oh yeah, the Mad Hatter. I'm only showing this one because it's got a great beginning by Michael Barr, like W. Barr. So Mad Hatter says, I'm better. Oh, he's like, you better know. Check out Robin, man. That was like the coolest. I love that smile. So you're trying to scare straight him. And they disappear, grabs a newspaper, makes a hat. Such a great idea. Great opening. And some of this stuff really fades as well. And it's just frustrating as hell. Let's see. Well, the later stuff, this is from a one-shot that came out later. It's not and I think they had better photo stats of it. Give me a second. It's still cool, but you know what? I just wonder who approved this, Who the hell approved it? So, see, my dogs aren't really happy. Hey! Oh, you guys. Hey, Mutleys, calm down. And here, by contrast, you're seeing very bold page here that was printed very nicely. That's Leslie Tompkins, the one who took in young Bruce Wayne when his parents were murdered. Look how bold that is. It's so nice. It's so uneven, and that's what pisses me off. And Paul Neary is a great inker, and he went on later on to do. He got off Captain America and started inking Davis for quite a while, but I wish, I've been collecting some of these Legends of the Dark Knight that focus on single creator, and but I'm so pissed off. It's like, I see something like that and I would rather have it printed again, but they're not going to spend the money. And this, I don't have the actual, this is a photocopy of the very first Iron Man omnibus, which was going to cover Tales of Suspense 39 until several issues into his own series. I was at a comic store, like when this came out in 2008, a couple months after the movie came out, which just knocked me off my socks because I'm like the biggest Iron Man fan since I was a kid. But they had the store had a copy that was not wrapped. So we flipped through it. And the last third of this honking big book, all the yellow turned green. It's like Iron Man was green and red, and it just was awful. And I thought, is Marvel gonna maybe take them back and pulp them or give a discount or reprint it? And no, they didn't do it. And I was pretty shocked because this is a freaking high end book, man. This was like $100 at the time. I mean, they've gone up to 125. But I was just, I'm really disappointed because I was going to buy it, and thankfully I got to see one that they've reprinted this since, and they fixed the colors. And but I was so disappointed. I'm like, why did they just put this out? Why didn't they say, look, you mail it to us, we'll send you another one, or do it through your retailer? But nope. They didn't give a shit. So now this one here is a real head scratcher too. This came out in 2009, I think. Did I write that down? Yeah. Yay. And I bought these off eBay. And originally, look how thin this volume is. Look at that here. And it went for originally $39.99. So $40 for a thin hardcover that came out in 2009. It's like, that's crazy. I mean, back then, that's what one of those Marvel Premiere Editions would have gone for, is like $25. And it's printed on newsprint. Why bother? I don't mind newsprint at a time, but if you're doing a hardcover collection, come on, commit to the bit. This is gorgeous art, and the reproduction is fairly good. Actually, it's John Beatty started inking it, the same guy who inked Mike Zeck on Captain America, and did a beautiful job on it. And yeah, but it just pissed me off. It's like, we're paying $40 for the same amount of pages, and you could get higher quality paper, and it would cost you maybe $29.99 at the most back in 2012. And I'll just show the other one for the hell of it. But I'm just so pissed off. These all need to be reprinted, and I wish there was a way to return some of these, but that ship's done sailed. Isn't that glorious? But look, see, all the black is just kind of Why? God's sake, why? I don't know if they reprinted all his stuff recently of his Justice League. I'm not sure. I haven't kept up on everything. Oh, this has issue 200, which is like my favorite of all time. Anyway, that's it. Do you have any books that you've ordered and were really ticked off, PO'd at the lack of quality? And if you do, please share on the comments below. And this really disappointed me. I know Doctor Doom had he only did one part of a two-parter, but there were a few extra pages they could have added, and they could have formatted. It's just a very generic format. So that's all. Those are my tales of woe. And thank God I had, like I said, got to see this before. Instead of just ordering it blindly, at least I got to see the print. It's 1/3 the book is green where it should be yellow. Ugh, that's pitiful. I used to work in advertising, and I would never let that go. I just wouldn't. I'm so anal retentive, and I guess that's what made me a comic book professional, because I kind of was fussy. I did sweat the small stuff. Anyway, this is still, it was very affordable. I can't remember what I paid for it, but maybe $20 plus shipping, maybe a little more. It varied, but it's in great shape, and I hate dust jackets. So I wish we would go to the European graphic album which format, which does away with dust jackets, because dust jackets, all they're going to do is break your heart when they rip. All right, everybody. Have a good. Even though I'm belly aching, it's still a pretty good weekend, and the weather has gotten so great here in Georgia. Oh my gosh, probably save a fortune on our electric bill, but that's a good thing. This is my favorite time of year, anyway. All right, everybody. Please tell me what you think. If you have these or not, any questions about these that I haven't answered, and tell me, please. I would love to read everybody sharing their similar problems where they got burned and there was no recourse. So I've heard there's quite a few, but this is just, I wanted to get this out while I had just purchased this because I already had enough examples. Okay, everybody, this time I promise I'm done belly aching. All right, but leave comments below and like and subscribe, and please double check if you're like and subscribe, because there's a lot of bigger channels than mine that are having subscriptions like disappear, like the numbers going low for no reason. And like Rock and Roll True Stories, this one guy does great stuff, and he says that his subscription base pops lower for no reason because he doesn't do offensive material. And the same with a few other bigger names. He has like 10,000 subscribers at least. So that's it. Please leave comments below, and talk to you all later.